Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Danny. I'm the owner of Amber and Oak, which is a candle company, and I like to make videos about the behind the scenes of a small business, what my experiences are like, or what my day-to-day kind of looks like as a solo business owner. And I like to also show some little parts of my life and my hobbies as well. So I hope you enjoy this video. I recently had a new candle collection launch. This is the Quaint Village collection. I based these candles off of different places in an imaginary old world village, and there's my fiance as the shipping and receiving. He's just given me some packages. I have a CandleScience order. We will go through that in a little bit, but I'm just packing this order. This is a full collection order. This customer bought all 6 scents, and I am so happy and grateful to be packing this order for them. And yeah, so this collection was kind of like my spring collection, but there's a lot of mixed fragrances in the bunch. It's really fun. I have stocked the shelves of the boutiques that I have carry my candles in little shops locally. They've been doing really well, and online is already sold out. So I am so happy to be able to start working on the restock. Some of my favorite scents in this collection have to be Curiosity Shop, Tea Room, and I really, really like the Misty Meadows. It is so fresh. This is a shipment from CandleScience with just some random fragrance oils. They're not random, they actually do have a plan. But I am going to be creating a new scent. I think I talked about it previously. I think in my last video I talked about it. Bookshop Cafe is going to get a brand new blend. So I grabbed their fresh coffee fragrance oil to create that blend. And this blend is going to be a 3-oil blend. Fresh coffee is just like the spot on roasted coffee scent. It's very strong to me. And I will soften it up with 2 other fragrance oils that are a little more creamy, little caramel in there, and it's going to be delish. So there's the fresh coffee oil. That's going to be added back to my signature collection. Bookshop Cafe was in my signature collection. I'm just like switching up the formulation to a new scent. And then if you guys haven't smelled Santal and coconut, what are you doing? I love woody scents with like some sweet and warmth to it. So, oh my gosh, I could never get sick of this. Like, burn it all year round. In my house, I just like make candles for myself with it. I just love that Santal and coconut. That's going to be in a summer blend. And I am trying out the moss element for the first time. So let's see what this smells like. I know you might be surprised. I'm like, moss element for the first time, Danny? But yeah, I don't know how it got to this point, but I love my mossy, earthy scents. This is spot on. I love this so much. The moss element it's similar to petrichor, but I think it smells a little better than petrichor. If you were to use it in a higher percentage in your blend than that oil, this would be, I think, a little less dirty and a little more green scented, but it really does smell like moss. I think I'm going to use this in a blend that's coming up in a small percentage still. If you're a moss dirt lover, this is spot on. I love their blending elements because it just like gives you even more creative freedom. And then I never tried their cake fragrance oil, so I got a 1 ounce of that. And I was curious to compare it to the new oil that they came out with. It's called Vanilla Cake Pop, which I really loved out of bottle, but I've never smelled their regular just like cake oil. Ooh, okay. Getting like a lot of that like vanilla. obviously. I mean, that's what you would expect, or that's what I expected with the cake fragrance. Like pure vanilla extract kind of scent. Definitely sweet, buttery cake. I kind of have the idea to maybe do like a year-round birthday candle. I was asked by a boutique that I am co-signing, doing consignment in, and they kind of were like, do you have any birthday candles like someone can pick up for someone's birthday? Because that's a hot seller for us. So I'm like, I have actually been considering coming out with a happy birthday candle that if you want to go on my site, you can just shop and it could be for anyone. It's not personalized or anything like that. It's just a nice little gift that has a happy birthday label on it. So I don't know. I feel like I need to actually compare real quick cake and cake pop. Okay, we got vanilla cake pop and cake. Let's see. Now I have like 250 blotter strips over there. Tell me why I'm too lazy to go get them and actually do a proper sniff test. Vanilla cake pop, man. I think I like that one better. Just for like a birthday, I think. Because vanilla cake pop, like I feel like I can smell the rainbow sprinkles in it. I know that's kind of, it doesn't make sense, but you can smell like the sugariness. I feel like there's a little more to vanilla cake pop compared to just cake. But if you're doing a blend and you're looking for something more specific, and I don't know, like say you're trying to create your own like lemon pound cake fragrance oil, or like a strawberry cake or a chocolate cake, like in comparing, or like adding chocolate fudge to just cake, even like blueberry cobbler, like add cake to it. Now it's more of like a cake or a muffin or a cupcake type thing. And then vanilla cake pop has just like, it's like ready to go as a like birthday candle. I don't know. I like vanilla cake pop. I like cake. They're just great for different reasons. I feel like they're very useful. Can't wait to try them out. And then I also, I cannot resist trying new scents whenever I get like the free fragrance oil in the order, or I mean, clearly for these, I just like paid extra to get the samples, but the Citrus Sunshine from CandleScience. This is from a previous release last year, I believe. Never tried it. I don't do a ton of citrus scents. I really don't. I do like warm citrusy, orangey, clovey in like the holiday season, but I definitely, it smells like citron and mandarin, but it has like more of a green earthiness to it. And when I say earthy, it's not like dirt, earth, ground. It's like fresh trees, green. And I didn't look at the fragrance notes to this. I just kind of picked it. So I really don't think I'm representing this very well, but this is really nice. I really like Citrus Sunshine. I could totally see it being great on its own or in a blend. I don't know. I feel like my signature line is lacking a citrus. I don't really get a lot of people in my customer base that are asking for citrus, but there have been people here and there. So I don't know. I also love their blood orange fragrance oil. I've made like candles for myself with the blood orange, but I've just never had a specific idea that I've been inspired by to come out with a candle with that. So I don't know. And citrus agave is really great too. So I have all my fragrance oils under here, which is super convenient. And then I installed these lovely little curtains, which are just like cafe curtains I got off Amazon that are a linen material. And then these are like the little clips that hold the curtain. And this is just a random dowel that we cut to custom size for this like built-in counter. And this is where I keep all my fragrance oils, and it's getting crazy. I have like multiple shelves with like the rubber, the shelf liners on them to kind of protect them from fragrance oils, but I'm running out of space. So I need to reorganize this, or just like, yeah, reorganize it. And yeah, I've like gone from off of the shelf to the floor for some of these 16-ounce bottles. And I had to purchase another one of these nail polish acrylic organizers up here for more of my 1-ounce bottles. So let's put some of those on. It's really unorganized right now. Fixing them soon. I just have been kind of trying to keep at least like the blending elements together with the other blending elements, and anything that I'm currently like testing or working on, I'll kind of section off in my own way. It kind of has its own order, but when you look at it, it's truly a mess and it bothers me. So I will be redoing this, reorganizing, wiping everything down again soon. But for now, let's just get these in here. And I am gonna actually go check on the greenhouse. In my last video, I was showing you guys that I have a little pop-up temporary greenhouse on my back deck right now. My future father-in-law set it up so kindly for me. He brought a heater over. The heater wasn't even on last night, and it's pretty warm in there. So I want to check the temperature. I'm gonna do that with you guys. But I think we have one more package to open. Let's do that together. I forgot what it is. I think this is liquid bottles. It says LD packaging, so I think it's liquid bottles, which is where I get my jars from. But these are not jars. Okay, so story time here. Liquid Bottles was kind enough to send me a bunch of these lids. These are lids, Danielle. Liquid Bottles was kind enough to send me a bunch of lids for my double wick 16-ounce jars. I don't use white lids, but they were so sweet. So like, I got my palette of jars delivered a few months ago, and I went through it, and as I'm like going through the top layer, and I'm almost done with the top layer of the big jars, I'm realizing a lot of them got scuffed up in the travel. This could be like from the truck drive, whatever. I don't know how it happened, but the jars are scuffed. They're scratched to a point where like you can't get these scratch marks off, and they're amber, so they have like a paint. I guess the amber is a paint, because when it's scratched, it's like a big white mark, and with rubbing alcohol, anything I've tried, Goo Gone rubbing alcohol, Dawn dish soap, it's not coming off. It's just like now like the jar has like this permanent white mark on it, and it stands out a lot when you're looking at it, and it's outside of my label space, so I'm like, I can't use that. So I reached out to them, and they sent me a whole new layer. Like, they sent me my original order, and I think that was like really amazing customer service. I was over the moon. They also responded to me at like 7 o'clock in the morning about it, and they're in Florida. I'm in New York. We're in the same time zone, so it really was like 7 a.m. They were like, oh my gosh, so sorry about that. We sent you replacements, and I know that your signature candles have gold lids, but we don't have gold lids, so we're gonna send you white lids. I never even ordered lids from them in this original order. I get the gold lids from a Birch Bottle. That's the look I like for my line, or like my year-round line, and most of my candles. I love the gold lids with the amber jars, and the fact that they like looked into my brand enough and found out that I normally don't use, like they were trying to figure out what color lids I use for my candles, and they sent me white, which is so sweet because I will use this for other things. I have a quarterly candle subscription club that I started in January, and it's very exclusive. I opened it, I closed it up, and I limited it to just like a certain amount of people so that it was like easy for me to do by myself for the first year and test this kind of new format of surprising customers with a new special exclusive scent every season, and I call it the Storylight Society. So this would actually be perfect to give customers something different other than the same gold lid that they get for the other candles. Now their winter candle or their first season candle went out, and yeah, it was winter. It was a winter themed candle, and that already had a gold lid, but I'm thinking like going into spring and summer, I'm going to use this for Storylight Society. Good customer service means everything, and it just makes me more happy and feel more secure purchasing large amounts of jars in a pallet form as a small business owner who is self-funding in the future. Like, I will continue to order from them because I know that they'll take care of me if this were to happen again or something else like that. Whereas in the past, some other companies that I've had issues with specifically with jars or with the lids from the jars being like half of the lids in my order were scratched and damaged, there was a point where the supplier was like, well, I mean, this is the quality of our lids. Sometimes they're going to be dented. Sometimes they're going to be scratched. And if you don't like that, then just I would suggest not ordering again because we can't keep replacing and refunding you for the damages. So I feel like there's a big difference in the way that company handled it and Liquid Bottles handled this. Just like no questions asked. Here you go, new jars. Now, I don't expect that every time. That's not what I go around expecting, like this extremely amazing treatment from a supplier as a business owner, but I just wanted to take the time to like shout out Liquid Bottles for being like above and beyond with that customer service. So yeah, that's what this package was. And then we have one more upstairs, and I'll bring it down real quick before we head outside, and I'm going to show you what that is. Okay, it wasn't even upstairs. It was on the other side of the room. I forgot that I brought it down already. This is legendary. This is a moment right now because I have been using a $40, maybe like 30, I think it cost $35 at the time, printer that I got from Walmart for my entire time owning Amber and Oak and running this business. It's all been done on everything that I've printed from home, $30, $40 printer. And hey, it works, but I've had a lot of alignment issues, and I know that this still might be a thing in the future. Alignment is like, gosh, I feel like I can never escape it no matter what kind of printer I get, especially with label printing. But I've heard really good things about this EcoTank Epson printer, and I have a lot to learn. It's like cartridgeless, so I guess you just like fill the tanks yourself. Like you see them over here with this hand. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some reading on the manual or watch some YouTube videos, but I actually finally made this decision because I was watching Bree from Califia Candle Supplies video, and she uses this printer and she linked it. So I used her link and I was like, it's time. I've heard enough people talking about this printer, specifically small business owners using this printer, and I just had a launch, and I can use that money to go back into the business, and that will give my customers better quality labels if I'm printing from home. Yes, I do order 90% of my labels out from Leap and Lizard labels. I just love the quality of that. I just think it's unmatched, and it's a good time saver when you're releasing a lot of candles. But specifically for wholesale candles, I really wanted to have the option for wholesale, for customs or personalized candles, to be able to provide a higher quality label, or like, I don't know, maybe I can get some Estate 9 paper labels and print some at home and do more limited collections, and just very small batch specific things can be better quality here. And I can also branch out with different styles of labels, offer different types of labels to my customers, confidently feeling like it's going to look better. I'll let you guys know how I like this new printer. Very excited. Hopefully it fit. Yeah, it'll totally fit on there. It's a bit overcast. It was very sunny before, and I went out and I checked the temperature. It was around noon, and it was 74 degrees in the greenhouse. Now, it was like 30s overnight, I'm pretty sure. The greenhouse stayed around 40. I mean, I don't know what it did overnight, but in the morning at 9 a.m. it was like 42 degrees in there with no heater going. I don't have any plants that are needing the heater in there right now. There's nothing in there. There's some stuff that is coming back in pots, but it was outside anyway. And I'm in the process of just figuring out what the temperatures are looking like in here to gauge whether I can start things in here. But I know cool weather crops should be fine. And even happier than they would be outside right now because they will be covered. To be honest, I filmed that whole thing. I probably talked for like 10 minutes in the greenhouse, and there was no audio. So this is the next day, and I am refilming myself going into the greenhouse. I have this rosemary plant here that has been close to the house. I don't know too much about like rosemary. I've had a plant in the past where it did not come back after being outside in the winter, so I don't know if this one is, but I'm going to give it a lot of moisture and put it in the greenhouse because it's like 55 degrees today. And yeah, I feel like it might like it in there. It might like warmth. I don't know. Like I said, it's experimental. I'm also going to check the temperature in here because I'm curious. Now, the heater is not on. So I know this is not your typical candle making content, but just a little side quest. Oh, it's so warm in here. It's so moist. It says only 63% humidity, but it feels pretty humid. I'm gonna put this on a rack, I think. I'm going to probably go to the garden center today, grab some raised bed soil to top this off. I have garlic. I don't know what's going on with this garlic. I grew it, or I planted it from a grocery store, sprouted garlic bulbs. Like I separated the cloves of it and put them in the dirt and they sprouted. And it smells like garlic, but I did it in the fall. So if you're watching and you've grown garlic before, send tips. I have gardened since like 2013. In 2013, I started with the container gardening, and then 2016 was probably my first year doing like in-ground beds at my mom's house, and it's just like really therapeutic for me. I feel like it helps me disconnect from work. It's like a side hobby, which I feel like is relative to being a small business owner, is knowing when to also nourish and nurture your other hobbies and interests, and this is definitely one of them. So I don't know what I'm going to do as far as like these beds go. I know I'm probably going to start some lettuce in here soon, some broccoli, cool weather crops. I mean, on days like this, they're going to probably go crazy, I am assuming. And then I have to start some seeds inside on these little grow. I got like seed starting kits that have a built-in grow light on the lids. So that's exciting. Yeah, I just figured I'd show you what's going on in the greenhouse right now, which is really not much. Just a lot of planning and figuring it out. But I really do need to get started on this, because on days like this where it's this warm in here, there's stuff that can happen. This cart has been so amazing for post office trips, and it folds right up when you pull it up from the center, so it fits in the car really well. Ooh, I love this thing. We're back in the greenhouse. Oh no. Oh no. I want to start some kohlrabi, but that's going to be in a grow bag, so we'll set that aside. Something that gardening and candle making have in common is that you're using your hands, obviously. And I personally find a lot of therapy in physically doing things with my hands. It takes me out of my head a lot. I just find it to be very relaxing. Specifically things like gardening, it just, I don't know what I'm doing here. It just feels like it's very productive in a way. Like you are sowing seeds for your future. It gives you like hope. It's something to look forward to check on. I also really love to be outside. I think ideally, if I could make candles outside, I would. Or if I had like a big barn or a small barn. Why am I saying big? It could be a small barn. Oh no. Okay, I just spilled them all. But if I had a barn or some kind of shed detached from the house, I think that's kind of my dream for candle making and my business, is to just have some sort of barn situation where I can open the doors and have fresh air. Obviously it has to be very climate controlled for candle making, but I can hold workshops there. I can open it up for people to shop. Like a little retail space could be there. I don't know. That's something I would love to work towards. Okay, we have cucumbers and we have broccoli planted. Let's get the dome on top, and I guess we'll figure out this lighting situation together. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. I probably should read the instructions. I don't like reading instructions. Part of the whole ADHD thing is I already forgot where I put the broccoli and where I put the cucumber. Oh, all these USB cords. I think they all connect to each other too. If you like set all of these seed starter dome kits up, like you can just connect all of them together. I'm running off of one. Yeah, that's actually what it's for. So can I actually just do one? You're supposed to just pop the dome on and then go like this. And then all of your other domes go to these other cords. And then you plug this into a block and into the outlet. But you only have this guy. And I have some grow lights here, so like, why don't I just put it on the shelf? It's not very close to it, but I can lower it so it is close. I think that's what I'm gonna do. The weather is changing pretty quickly. It's getting chilly. The sun is out midday. And then in the spring here, it just drops right back down and gets really chilly. So I had to change again. It's a lot of changing done in the spring as far as like my clothing goes. Lots of outfit switches. Okay, I'm gonna get under this deck, which is a mess right now, and grab a grow bag. Oh, I forgot about this guy. This had lavender in it. It was a little handmade concrete container I got from a local nursery. Ooh, this one has a lot of soil in it. That's great. I probably won't have to get too much potting soil to top off then. Such a beautiful day, and I'm so grateful that I got to spend some of the time in the greenhouse and planting. I know I needed to prioritize this before it gets... I feel like the gardening season always moves so quickly, so it was nice to be able to take a little pause after I got the orders out today from the Quaint Village launch, but I do have a few more to get to that came through today, so I need to pack some orders downstairs again. I need to pour some candles as well, so I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for being here with me, for watching the behind the scenes of being a small business owner. I really appreciate you. If you have any specific video requests, leave them in the comments down below as always, and I'll see you in another one very soon.